Hey guys, what's poppin'? PJ's Funko Pops here today to talk about WandaVision. And it's currently about almost 10 p.m. Eastern, so many of you will probably have seen WandaVision or plan to see it because this WandaVision comes out in 2 hours. So today I want to talk about my theories about what will happen during the start of Phase 4 of the MCU. So these are all of the WandaVision Funko Pops except for the Vision Chase, which I hope to get soon. So here are the black and white Wanda and Vision from the 1950s. Here we have the Halloween version of Wanda and Vision, and then we have the 1970s version of Wanda, and then the GameStop exclusive Vision from the 70s. So, I guess to get started talking about WandaVision, we have to recap the current state of the MCU. And 2020 was a weird year because it was the first year in 10 years we didn't get any MCU movies. We didn't really get any MCU content. The only thing that we did get was Season 7 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I feel like the general populace had lost interest and stopped watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So, to recap, Quicksilver, Wanda's brother, died in Age of Ultron. And then Vision is dead after Infinity War. And then the stones were basically returned in time. And it's weird because we don't really know the status of the Mind Stone. They'll play in. Remember, at one point they were destroyed. So it is unclear, but we do know that Vision's dead. And that Wanda is mentally unstable because remember, she came back at the end when everyone else was returned after the snap. So I think it's important to realize that she is unstable. And so WandaVision, from the press release and everything Marvel's put out, their spoiler-free synopsis says that Wanda and Vision are in the suburbs trying to hide their powers and they just want to live a normal life. So there are a few things from the comics I want to talk about that will probably influence WandaVision, and I'll try and talk about these comics as spoiler-free as possible. So you can go and enjoy them if you want to, but obviously some things have to be talked about when talking about the comics. So first I want to talk about the House of M. And it starts off after Wanda's actions led to the death of Ant-Man and Vision, among some other Avengers, and she was really unstable. And something that really hasn't been explored in the MCU is Wanda's ability to bend reality. And her ability to bend reality plays a huge part in the House of M. So she starts ripping apart reality, creating other realities, and for losing her grip on reality as a whole because she just wants to live out life with Vision, specifically starting a family with Vision. So that, I think, is really going to influence this, and this is going to be the start of the multiverse of the MCU, that we have the Doctor Strange movie, we have Spider-Man 3, which has a lot of buzz around it. Who is in it? Who's not in it? Is it a multiverse film? And then we know Loki is going to have multiverse elements. And Kevin Feige said that this is the start of the multiverse. So WandaVision setting the stage for the future of the MCU, which is really exciting that we get 2 episodes tomorrow. So next, I want to talk about the Vision and the Scarlet Witch series from the 1980s. If you saw my last video, the mystery box, I said it was from the 70s, but it actually started in 82, so that's a correction. So the first issue of the Vision and Scarlet Witch was Vision and Scarlet Witch moving to the suburbs after they left the Avengers and trying to hide their powers. So the first issue took place on Halloween when the Vision and Scarlet Witch were moving into their new home, and there's this ancient druid force that comes to power and takes over the bodies of some kids, and then the kids turn into the monsters of their costumes. But this is what Wanda's costume looked like at that point, and this is what Vision's costume looked like at that point. So it's cool to see that she has like the trick-or-treat basket and that it's paying homage to that issue. And then also I think Agatha Harkness, who is the witch who trained Wanda in the comics in the dark magic, dark arts almost, I think she's going to play a big role in this series. And then next, I want to talk about Tom King's The Vision, which is one of my favorite comics of all time. That I can't remember if it's a 10 or 12 issue run, but I studied a lot of philosophy and political philosophy in college, and the Tom King's writing always has a philosophical element, and The Vision just hits so many big ideas and themes so well. So the Vision, Tom King's The Vision series, starts out with the Vision moving to DC with his new family. He has a wife and 2 kids, and they're all synthezoids, just like he is. And there are a lot of issues with them being the only artificial life forms within the community, and the kids fitting in at school, and them fitting in the community. But the heart of it is the Vision doing everything he possibly can to have a family and to raise that family safely, that he goes to the point of jeopardizing all of humanity and basically just the universe as a whole, just so he can have a normal life. Next, I want to talk about sort of some of the trailers, like we don't know what to expect and all of this television stuff, different eras. So here you got like the 1950s look of I Love Lucy. You got the 70s look, almost Brady Bunch-esque. That there's going to be a lot, and I think a lot of it is with different realities, the multiverse. But the NewRockstars, in their great YouTube video, which I'll put in the description below, talked about Mojo, who's one of my favorite XMen villains, and he's sort of this TV executive villain who traps people in basically various television shows and basically exploits people in different eras and different shows, and he just gets a lot of entertainment out of it. I don't think this is all that possible. I don't really think this is going to happen, but it is a possibility. And part of the reason why I think this is a possibility is if I were to bet money on WandaVision, I'd bet on this show laying the groundwork for mutants in the MCU. That there's been a lot of chatter the last few weeks during the press tour or virtual press tour for WandaVision, that Kevin Feige's been talking about the XMen being incorporated into the MCU. And Wanda and Quicksilver, their parentage changed all the time in the comics. But Magneto was their father at one point, and at other points, sort of their adopted father. And I really do think that this is going to be laying the groundwork for mutants that Wanda and Quicksilver are mutants, that they do have the X gene in the comics, that the MCU wasn't able to talk about the X gene or mutations due to 20th Century Fox owning the right to X-Men. But now that Disney owns 20th Century Fox, everything's on the table. So I do think that this can be starting to lay the groundwork for mutants and the X-Men, but I don't expect too much here. I don't expect Magneto or anything. I don't expect like Hugh Jackman to show up, but I do think it will be planting the seeds for the mutants. So yes, if you can't tell, I'm very excited for WandaVision Phase 4 of the MCU. I really hope you leave comments down below on what you think will happen, but I assume many people will be watching this video without having seen it yet, so please leave the comments spoiler free if you have seen the episodes. But yes, I hope to be making more WandaVision videos in the future if you guys seem to be liking that. And please like, comment, subscribe, and share.